My name is David, and I want to share my story. A story that could belong to anyone but changed my life forever. I had a normal life, growing up in a modest family. My parents worked hard and taught me the value of sacrifice and faith. But as I grew older, something changed. A strong desire for more began to grow inside me. I saw people around me with big houses, luxury cars, and lives filled with comfort. I wanted that for myself. I didn't understand that such luxury came with a price. This desire led me to make a terrible decision. I bought my first luxury car. I remember the smell of the leather seats and the roar of the engine. It made me feel powerful and invincible. But even then, there was a small voice inside me, saying that I was wrong. I ignored it, convincing myself that I was just living life to the fullest. Soon, having the car wasn't enough. I wanted a big house with expensive furniture. Every decision seemed perfect, but I was accumulating debt. I spent evenings at fancy restaurants, took vacations in exclusive places, and eventually started gambling. I thought I could win back what I had lost, but with every game, I fell deeper into a hole. I ended up with over $500,000 in debt. The banks refused to lend me more money, friends turned away from me, and my family distanced themselves. I was alone with my lies. In my desperation, I made a terrible choice. I turned to the underworld for money. I remember sitting on my couch, trembling as I answered a phone call. A cold, threatening voice told me I had until midnight to repay the money. I felt a shiver down my spine. My heart raced, and I knew I was in serious trouble. I had borrowed from everyone and sold what I could, but it was never enough. I left my house, wandering the city streets. Everything felt distant, as if I was no longer part of the world. Suddenly, I noticed 3 men following me. My stomach dropped. I knew they were there for me. I tried to run, but they caught me, dragging me into an alley and beating me. Each blow felt like a hammer hitting me, and eventually, the pain became too much. I lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in the alley. I found myself in a terrifying place that I quickly recognized as hell. It was a vast, empty expanse of barren earth and flames. The air was heavy, suffocating, and every breath felt like fire. At first, I thought I was alone, but soon I saw other people, souls in pain. They were like me, Christians who had pursued material wealth and ignored their spiritual responsibilities. In that place, I saw souls surrounded by flames, others tormented by monstrous creatures. I wanted to escape, but there was no way out. Every step I took brought me closer to more horror. I tried to pray, but the words died in my throat. I felt my body starting to burn as flames enveloped me, and the pain was unbearable. I screamed, "Why am I here? I always believed in God. I don't deserve this." A dark voice replied, "It's not your faith that brought you here, but your debts. You wasted your life chasing earthly pleasures and ignored your responsibilities to God and others. Every debt is a sin, and now you will pay for all of them." I knelt in despair, overwhelmed by the truth of my actions. I had lived for myself, a slave to selfishness and material desires. I trembled, not just from pain, but from shame. The flames seemed to grab me, hissing, wanting to consume my memories too. Every breath was a struggle, and I found myself screaming into the void. Why? I don't deserve this. Deep down, I knew my faith had been a shield while I continued living in sin. A powerful voice surrounded me, saying, "David, you are here for the life you have lived, not for the faith you profess. You have accumulated both material and spiritual debts. You sought pleasure and luxury, forgetting your duty to God and others. Now you will pay for each one of them." Those words hit me like a punch. I collapsed, unable to ignore the truth anymore. Every senseless expense, every lie I told, led me here. I had spent years looking for ways to escape the consequences of my actions. But hell was not a place to escape. It was the inevitable result of my choices. With my throat burning, I begged, "Please forgive me. I know I sinned against God and others. Give me another chance. I will repay every debt. I will be different." Silence filled the space around me, heavy and suffocating. I remained there, among the burning earth, unsure if anyone was listening. Then, something incredible happened. The flames began to withdraw. The air cooled, and for the first time, the pain started to fade. I looked up, confused and frightened, as a bright light emerged from the darkness. The light took the form of a majestic figure wrapped in a golden aura. It had wings made of pure light and eyes that shone with compassion. It was an angel, and just being in its presence made me cry. I felt the weight of judgment, but also a glimmer of hope. "David," the angel said, its voice calm yet powerful. "Your repentance is sincere. That is why you are granted a second chance. But remember, this will be your last. You must live a life of true faith. Every debt you've accumulated must be repaid with sacrifice and commitment. No more shortcuts. No more lies." My heart raced with gratitude. I couldn't believe this was happening. "Thank you. I won't disappoint you. I will change. I swear I will live an honest life and repay everything I owe." The angel nodded, but its gaze remained serious. "The path of redemption will not be easy. It will take time and effort, and your faith will be tested. But if you are sincere and keep your promises, you will find the peace you seek." Then, the angel took my hand. A warm light flowed through me, and in that moment, the pain, terror, and anguish vanished. I was lifted as if the earth had released me, and the angel's light surrounded me completely. When I opened my eyes, I found myself back in the field where I had been left for dead. The sky was dark, but this time, it felt different. I felt warmth inside me. I was alive, and I had changed. There was no one around. I knew the men who had attacked me would soon discover I was still alive. I had to act quickly. I stood up, feeling pain, but also determination. The angel had given me a second chance, and I wouldn't waste it. When I got home, my body hurt, and my mind was still shaken. I looked around at everything I once valued: the big house, luxury items, and expensive furniture. Everything seemed empty and useless, like it belonged to someone else. That night, I couldn't sleep, not because of pain, but because of the changes I needed to make. I knew I had to start a new life. I would repay my debts and live humbly. I would commit to my faith and responsibilities. The angel had shown me the way, and I would not let that chance slip away. This experience has changed my life forever. It taught me the importance of living with integrity and being responsible for my actions. I am grateful for my second chance, and I will not take it for granted. I will live a life filled with purpose, faith, and love. This is my journey, and I hope it inspires others to reflect on their lives and make positive changes before it's too late.